I'm Leila. So today I'm super excited. I get to have one of my good friends here with me, Collins. Collins, what's up? Thank you for joining me today.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing great. I play BGs and Marvel Snap from time to time, and hopefully, we have a good, nice, informative, and fun discussion today.
Yeah, and you guys, for those of you who don't know Collins and I go like way back. My viewers know I started in Hearthstone, and man, we met way back then, and we've been friends ever since. What can I say? So of course, we actually met in person for the first time in TwitchCon, which just
Yeah,
happened. So that was super exciting as well too.
yeah, definitely a fun, very fun experience. I got to
Mhm.
meet a ton of people there.
Yeah,
It's always great because it's been a couple of years since they had one due to COVID, so it was good
right.
to see everyone again and have a lot of fun there.
Yeah, and it was the first time you and I actually got to meet in person, and this is pretty much the first time I think that we actually get to like hang out and do a collab. And Snap seemed like a fun time and just like a fun game to do this with.
Yeah, I've been playing Snap a lot recently. Maybe
Yeah, me
too much.
too.
It's definitely a fun game, definitely addicting at times, and a lot of great, I would say, like things about the game that
Hmm.
keeps me coming back. So, really cool game.
Yeah, I agree with that. My viewers know like this is kind of like my wind down game. I really
Mm.
enjoy it. Like I hang out in the middle of the night, just like I don't know, just playing Snap on my phone, and the games are fast, which is great.
You
So I
you
love
don't
that.
notice how many games you end up playing. You're like, oh, it's
Yes.
just one or two, and then boom, the hours pass. Like, oh wait.
You're like, wow, I've been playing this for 2 hours? What? Like, how many games did I play already? Yeah, I know. It goes by really fast. You're totally right on that. You're totally right. So, guys, what we want to do today is we're just going to kind of chat about the game, have some fun. Collins is going to talk about probably things I don't know about. He says he has some tips as well, too, because there's still a lot of things I don't know. He's been playing longer than I have. When did you say you started playing?
So I started playing global release. So basically, there are some players that played a little bit before in the beta. I didn't get access to that, even though I asked. A
Yeah.
little salty about that, but
Oh, no.
did start playing after global release. Just from the get-go, I really haven't really missed a day since. Just kept that up since everyone was able to play.
Nice, that's good. So I'm at collection 769. I think you said there was a tip, but you had to be under 600 or
Yeah,
something?
okay. So we're gonna get right into it. So the way the matchmaking works is that while you're so there's different pools, right? So there's a
Mm-hmm.
pool one, pool two, pool three. There's even pool four and five. But while you're in pool one, pool two, you're also playing against other people that are in pool one, pool two.
Right.
And then after collection 486, that's when you get into pool three. So that's when you start seeing all these like interesting cards, Destroyer, Electro.
Mm.
You have a couple of Mega Red, like all those cards are in the third pool. But there has to be a point, and while you're there, you're also finding people that are just in that pool. There has to be a point where you you stop, you get rid of the training wheels basically,
Yep.
and you fight everyone else. And that point happens to be collection level 600. So if you're under 600, it's a pretty fun time. But as soon as you pass 600, you depending on rank, right? You might not notice it, but let's say you're very high ranked. Once you pass 600, you can fight anyone in the game basically.
Oh
Like
boy.
no matter the collection level, 5,000 collection level, 6,000 collection level, like depending on your rank, you can fight them. So, uh, if you're new, you're climbing, what I would prefer you to do is you stay under 600 for until you max your credits, essentially, and
Ooh, that's
then
a good idea.
you jump straight from 600 all the way to like 800, 900, maybe even 1,000. So you have more tools in your toolbox, right? You'll get more cards to play with before you get into that big pool of players. So unfortunately for you, you have
I
you've
have a
already
robust
passed.
collection. I
Yeah,
know.
so fortunately, if you're not like grinding the game like
Mm-hmm.
very high rating, you might not notice it as much, right? So if you're still like relatively in like the 30s to 50 rating, right, you'll also be matching against people in the 30s to 50 rating, and there should be enough players that you won't have that big collection discrepancy. It's really the people that are like already infinite at
Right.
600, and then they get into the whole pool of players, and then you're just like, oh my god, this guy has cards I've never seen, but every other card they play I've never seen
Yes.
before.
You know, that's such a good point. You know, and I love that you're sharing this with the viewers because I had no idea. Because you're right. Like there's a point I got in the game, I'm like, what the like what is this card? Like the artwork's really cool. But I'm like, I have no idea what this is. And all of a sudden almost every other card's getting played is first time seen, and I'm like, where am I going wrong here? Like I'm not collecting these cards anywhere. Where are they?
Yeah,
So that makes so much sense.
it can be bad because at your collection level, there are some cards that are like almost impossible to get. And you're gonna be you're gonna play against them, but you don't have access at all to get them, so it can be
Right.
pretty difficult.
Kind
But
of like him. I saw him
yeah,
and I pinned him, but I'm like, I'm
exactly,
never getting him. It's like 6,000.
exactly.
I mean, this is
That's
the
true.
right call, right? I'm like, this has got to be the right call.
Um, I would say in terms of my advice for players, is actually to ignore the 6,000 cost cards and the 3,000 cost cards because it takes you so long to collect
It's true.
6,000 tokens, right? You'll get 100, or is it? Yeah, you'll get 100 collected tokens every 4 boxes you open. So
It
in
takes a
order to get six,
while.
yeah, in order to get 6,000 from where you're at, you're 28. You have to open basically what 122
So 3 years
or
from
so.
now, got it. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
All right.
th- so yeah, you'd be well in like
Hmm.
you know 3,000 collection level
Yeah.
or so.
You guys hear that I'm a ways off. I will say though, and I'm curious, you guys watching, if you have grabbed anything in the token shop, drop us a comment on what you've grabbed. I think so far the only thing I saw that I grabbed was Thor. I really like Thor, so I
Thor's a
picked him
great
up.
card to get,
I love
actually.
him. So if you guys haven't seen Thor, he's one of my favorite cards. I just really like him. He's a 3 cost, right? Where's
Yeah, it's a 3 cost
Thor?
4 power.
Oh, hang on a second.
You're not, yeah, it's by name.
Yeah, probably because I was looking for something. So here we go. Where's Thor? But he's just such a good card. And like I said, he's one of my
Right there.
favorite characters in general anyway.
To the left, to the left, to
To
the
the
right,
left, to
to
the
the right,
left.
to the right. There you go.
Love him. He's great. And I mean, I don't have him maxed out yet, I don't think. Yeah, see, so he's almost to Ultra, but he's such a good card. I love this one for sure. So I think he's the only one I've bought in the token shop so far.
Yeah, he's really powerful. Especially there are some locations that really make him unfair, actually. Like legit the best card you could play on those locations. Things like uh let you double your on reveal, you get two of
Yeah.
them, and then any of the hammers also trigger twice.
Yeah, I've
Or and
done that, or with Odin. I've done that with Odin
yeah,
as well too. It's like triggering the reveals again. I've done
yeah.
that where I've played him, and then if it just so happens I happen to have both him and his hammer on the same location plate, then it kind of does it all
With the
over again,
Odin,
kind of a
yeah.
thing. Yeah, so
It's
it's kind of cool.
And then the other one is cloning vats, where
Oh yeah,
you get another copy,
you get a copy of him.
right?
Yeah.
And then you just play it again. You get two hammers in your deck.
Hmm.
You can play the third Thor at a different location, but then every time you play the hammer, you're buffing
Gets them all.
3. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
disgusting.
It's really good. So yeah, he's the only one I've bought because like I said, I like him as a character anyway, but it seemed like a good card. And you're right, he's been a really, really good card to play in general. So I've really been enjoying him.
Yeah, I definitely recommend looking through the 1,000 cost collector token cards, and then deciding which 3 or 4 you want, and then just like uh waiting until they pop up and then picking them up. So people like
Is there
Arrow,
any way
people
to
like
see
Meteor,
that in
Sarah.
the game, or is that somewhere you have to see outside the game?
In the game, no, you can't. But there's a
Let's do
couple
that.
websites.
Okay.
My favorite is probably Snap.fan, where
Okay.
you can search through pull 3 specific cards and then just
Okay.
like taking a look at which ones you like. So
Okay, guys.
that's
So what I'll do is I'll have some links down below, so that way if you guys are interested in checking that out, we'll connect with that after the video. So I'll make sure I'll drop some links if you guys want to see what some of the cards are, because I know for me that's probably one thing I don't like is I can't see everything that's in the game. Like I know some games you can see everything and it's just like
right.
grayed out if you don't have it, but all you see is your collection. So then for me, like I'm not always certain, what else there is or what I'm missing, or I guess I like to see everything even if I don't have it.
The best thing you can do is go to the filter on the right. There you can search. You can click unknown
Oh,
or
there we go. Unknowns.
unowned, right?
Okay.
and then it'll show you some of the cards that you've seen before, but
Yeah.
haven't don't have access to, and the cards you've never seen before. You have this, so that
Right.
card is actually not available to play. That card's
Oh,
cloak. Yeah, it's not it's in the game itself, but no one has access to it. So
which one
that
is
one
it?
it's called cloak. That's
Oh,
I believe. Oh wait,
I've seen
not
him
cloak.
though.
There's no,
Which one is it?
it's a different
Okay.
card. It's a different card. I think it's called cloak, but it's there is a
This
cloak.
cloak?
There is an
This
actual
one.
cloak. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. From Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, yeah. I messed up. It's a different card. It starts with
That's
a C
okay.
though.
But you guys see what I mean? There's so many cards. It's like trying to understand. I mean, I do like that because you can see how robust your collections can be. There's so much. So again, there's a lot I have seen, but then yeah, like there's a couple we haven't seen. And I like how they kind of got like the shadows there. That's really, really cool.
Yeah,
But
that
there's
one's
still a lot.
Sauron.
Which one's this one?
Sauron. That one
Sauron?
is revealed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, apparently there's still a lot I haven't seen here. Then yeah, look at that. There's a
It's
couple
called
here.
Ghost. It's called Ghost.
Oh,
Okay,
so you were
I had
close. You were close. Ghost cloak, same thing. Very, very close.
Phew,
Let's
I had to
see.
recover. They're gonna be mad at me. But yeah.
Let's see.
So
Yeah, so
yeah,
there's still a lot.
so a lot of the ones you haven't seen are actually not no one has access to.
Okay.
So you've played against a lot of unfair stuff. I could
That's what I mean. See? That's what I'm telling you. At least I'm not crazy. I'm like, why am I seeing all these cards I don't have?
literally the cards that haven't been revealed you're like no one has access to. So it basically means you've played against everything else
Oh, that's
so
hilarious.
far.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, I have
So,
quite a collection. So, while we're here, guys, I know something Collins and I were talking about off stream is you see how there's these different variants, right? They're splits, right? So I
right.
saved a split to share with you guys so he can help explain it. So I have, it was Vision, right? Vision, here we
Yeah, it was
go.
Vision.
Yeah. So if you could help explain what we had started talking about as far as splitting goes.
So every time you upgrade a card, right? They get all these fancy cool upgrades. And then at the final max quality, you get the option of splitting a card. Splitting is actually very good for you because you get a new card, and that card, the first upgrade of every card costs 25 credits less to
Mm,
upgrade. So it, if you think about every time you split, it's like you're getting 25 gold because
that's cool.
the or 25 credits because the credits
Yeah.
you would use on anything else would be full price, where the first upgrade would be 25 less. So it's just correct to split every time you can.
And they look cool too. So that's what I was going to I want to save this for you guys to show the split. So what I like is as we start upgrading it, so I probably am going to set this as a favorite, but as we start upgrading, you still get the really cool 3D. It's shiny, it's animated. The colors are like they're moving a little bit now too, as you can see. But I think you were saying every time you split, like it looks different each time, right? Like there's different color variations, different patterns. It just looks like I don't know, I just like it. I think they did a good job with it.
Do you know like all the like options there are for splits?
No, I
Okay.
don't.
So the first split, you're always gonna get an option like this where it changes the background.
Right.
After the second split, you'll have a reveal effect. So, do you have a card that you split like more than once, right? There'll be like a little reveal effect on top of it.
Let's
Um,
see. So I got this variation of
yeah,
Nightfall.
there it
I
is.
like this one. Is this it?
There, yeah. So you
I
see
like
when
that.
you open the card, it like shined out.
Yeah, it's like foil, right? Like it looks so
Yeah,
cool.
that's the
Yeah.
reveal effect. Now, if you split a card 4 times, you can get a inked copy, which is black and white. So I don't know if you've
Ooh.
seen that. Maybe your opponents have played a card like that.
No.
Uh, but there'll be a black and white copy. And if
So,
you split even more, you can get a gold background copy.
well,
And then
let's.
there's like the last thing is like the bot. I would say it's a bot copy because mostly bots have this. But you
Mm-hmm.
can get like a little. It's like a Kirby effect where there's the background has a ton of like little around it in a circle. So
Neat.
usually bots have that kind of effect. Yeah.
I think it looks like the one I've split the most is Iron Man because I have right? So I have three of them. So
Yeah.
that looks like that's
Yeah.
probably the one I've split the most. Which I mean, he's a cool card anyway. Like even the original is just so cool looking.
and he's pretty good. So
He's
it's a
very
good
good.
target.
Yeah. Yeah. So this one,
Definitely.
I think this one was maxed out. Yep, that one's maxed out full. This one. And yeah, so this is the one I'm working on now. But like you said, it's so interesting because even like these two variations, you're right.
Hmm.
Like it's got just like this cool, different like look to it. The more you split them.
Yeah, a lot of people like picking their favorite effect and like forcing splits until they get it, and then they're like, okay, I'm finally happy, I'm satisfied. My cards are gold or black and white or whatever they want. So
Yeah, I haven't seen the black and white ones yet though. That sounds neat. So it was just basically kind of like this in some
I
ways, right?
literally have that one.
Do you Darkhawk? You have that one? I picked the one he's got.
I literally have that exact like card in this split as well. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great. Well, thank you for sharing that. And yeah, I wanted you guys to be able to see the splits. I didn't wait. I can't split again. Can I? Is that just part of the animation? I don't think I
No,
can.
yeah, that's the
Oh,
reveal
okay.
animation. Every time you open it up,
Okay.
you'll get that little shiny thing.
There we go. All right. I was like, I'm looking like it's a upgrade for me, but I guess not. Okay. And so I guess we're gonna do is, guys, we're just gonna have some fun. We're gonna play some games and chill. And yeah, so that it's really cool talking about all the different cards. And maybe you're gonna see some of the stuff I come up against, and you're like, what the heck? Why are you playing that? Shuffle.
What the heck?
Look at it.
What's Medusa doing in there?
What the heck? What are we playing against here? So what are you enjoying in the game right now? I know you have like your collection's way more than mine. You have a lot more cards than I do. What are you enjoying?
Yeah, I'm enjoying like climbing, I guess, and beating people. I have this deck where I put rocks and annoying stuff into people's decks, and then I have the card you showed. It gets stronger the bigger opponent's deck is, and since I'm putting a ton of rocks in there, the card ends up being big. So my play is like I give you annoying and useless cards, and I
Yeah.
play huge minions on top afterwards.
So you're
That-
playing like Grog. Like I know Grog tosses rocks in. What
yeah.
other cards do stuff like that? I was gonna
Um,
say it looks like they were doing that.
there's a card called Rock Slide. He throws two rocks in
Oh. Yeah, I
as
just got
well.
him. Okay. Yep, that makes sense. I think I just picked him up in the path there. That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
And then the last like card that functions in that is called Black Widow.
Oh, I
She
have her too.
will she she gives you a card that stops you from drawing, right? So you don't
Yeah.
get to draw, and then you have to play that card down
Oh,
next turn.
that's what I meant was Korg. Not Grog, I meant Korg. That's it.
Yeah, it's the same to me. Well, he
Yep, same thing.
killmongered the whole board, so.
He did. I saw that. He most certainly did.
Oh yeah, I mean the locations are really good for that, right? Where he gets Savage Lands, which summons
Mm-hmm.
2/1/1s, and then Central Park summons even more. So he kills
Yep.
minimum like how many cards? 4 plus 6, right? He kills 10 cards minimum,
Right,
plus any
right.
one drops are on the board. So it's pretty disgusting.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. But that was always fun to see. Like we knew that there was gonna be some kind of like fun carnage little thing.
I
Ooh,
was
Gambit.
playing
Gambit's a fun
Gambit.
one. Ah,
It is
can't
a gun. Oh no.
destroy. That was
Oh
funny. Yeah, he tried to destroy Colossus. That's fine. All fun and games for sure. But it's fun seeing stuff like that. So this happened to work out really well for him with some of this here, like
yeah.
adding in those onesies, like the raptors
Yeah.
and the squirrels. It was like perfect for his deck. Perfect for
Yeah,
it.
he was able to get that death out for free. It normally costs 9. Like he killed more than 9 things, so it was free completely.
I'm
So
actually
actually
not
just not
familiar with
fair.
that death card.
Yeah, so
Where is she?
it's a pull 3 card,
There we
right? So
go.
you wouldn't have it. So that's
Ah,
that's usually the linchpin of the destroy archetype where they want to destroy as many cards as they can, and then they'll play the dead. So that locations worked really well for him there.
yeah, that was really good. So now I can understand why he played the Killmonger, literally killed everything to be able to knock down her cost to get her out there. So
Yeah.
interesting. You have to love it. I think that's one of the things I like about this game is it feels like each game you play is different, right? Because it's variance depending on the locations you get. On top of, whatever decks your opponents are playing. It just seems like it always kind of changes. Where'd
Yes,
you
I'm at that level where it's like I know exactly what they're doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like it becomes very samey. It's like, oh they have to do this, they have to do that, they have to do that. But It is true, and definitely things like hot locations, featured locations can completely change
Mm.
what people run, what people think about, as well as anytime new cards are added, or usually season cards are added, right? Because new cards can be added, but sometimes they're hard for players to get. Where season pass cards, a lot of people have access to that, so
Got
those
you.
will usually change the meta.
Ooh, that's a good point. We should probably look at that right after. We could take a look and see what the was it the
Season
featured
pass
location?
card.
Yeah, like we could look at some of that because to your point, that's a really really good point that whatever the featured location is, you're right. Like that might influence the kind of deck that you want to run or at least things that you want to add in. That makes a lot of sense. So we could
I
check that
know there's
after.
a new feature location coming, like after the reset today, so.
Mm,
That would be like in a couple hours, maybe 4.5 hours. There'll be a new feature location. I don't know if there's
gotcha,
one
yeah.
right now. You
Oh,
can
that's
actually
interesting.
see which feature locations are gonna appear. Like it tells
Okay.
they reveal it ahead of time. You just have to look it up. It's not on the game.
Oh, okay. So that's gonna be like outside the game, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I like her. She's a
You
fun card.
you guys play like the same card, but you have to do the effort of thinking where to put it in the final turn where they just kind of AFK. Oh, it's gonna do it for me.
Oh yeah,
But you
Captain
get
Marvel, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
you
she's
get
such a fun card.
there's like a 1 point penalty, right, for that for not choosing where you want it to go, but essentially they do the same thing.
Yeah. That is kind of cool though. I do like that card. I mean, I don't have her, but she is pretty neat.
All right.
Lockjaw, I don't have
Who's
either.
Yeah, you're playing against a lot of pool three cards,
Yeah,
basically.
which is okay. It's fine. That's what
This
I figured.
th- this is why I was saying like
Yeah.
being skipping, being under 600 is definitely the way to go
Ooh,
because
that's
you
good.
get to mitigate this a little bit.
Yeah.
Or you
It's
have
still
more options.
fun though. Something I like is like you guys just saw right here is even though we lost, I'm still getting these
Boosters.
boosters. So
Yeah.
you're still progressing in the game, right? Oh, I can just do it again. So I do wait, what am I missing? Oh, I don't have enough credits. That's okay. So next time we get
So
credits, I'll do that as well.
that is kind of the issue where you can infinitely get boosters, you just can't infinitely get credits. So credits
Right.
would be like maybe the limiting factor
Oh, actually I think we
compared
could
to
do it now.
boosters. Yeah,
Let's
now
do
you
it.
can do it for sure.
Yeah. So let's go do that. But then what we'll also do too is we will take a look at what you were saying. Like we'll check out and see what the featured location is. And you did say it's going to be changing too, right? Like how often
Yeah.
does that change?
I believe it's every week. There's like a featured and a hot location. So featured locations, um, they last for 2 days, but they appear in 40% of games, where hot locations last for 1 day, but they appear in 60% of games. So,
Wait, shouldn't
uh,
it be here? Where am I? Where would we see it? I
yeah.
thought we would
So,
see it here.
so there is the feature location, I believe, passed. Um, where the last one, I guess I can look it up.
Oh yeah. So I always thought like it would show here on our screen, as far as the featured goes. But I guess not.
So the last one was a couple of days ago. Is Rickety Bridge.
Oh, that one was interesting. That was is that the one where they fight each other?
It's the one where if there's more than one card here, you
Yeah.
destroy all the cards. Yeah.
Yep, that's it. Yeah. So I think at that time when that was going on, I was running this one. I was running
Just
kind of like a
destroy deck.
destroy deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, knowing that that was going to happen. So I had like again, my cards are limited, right? So I had stuff like this. So like I
Right.
had, Deadpool, I had Archangel in there, I had Bucky, Colossus, I had Wolverine. I did have like Sabretooth. So I did have, some different things like that for fun in there as well. Hobgoblin I just like playing. I think he's funny. I don't have the other goblin. I have this one though.
Y- Yeah, Green Goblin is definitely cheaper and like more flexible, but Hobgoblin has the bigger oomph of,
I don't think I
minus
have the
eight.
other one.
Yeah, the
Um
Green Goblin. Yeah, you don't have it right there. You just
oh
passed.
yeah. Yeah, there he
It
is.
used to be my favorite card actually.
Mm.
Um, it got a little bit weaker because of Silver Surfer. So it's one of the season rewards where they can buff, yeah, 3 cost cards.
Mm.
So when this wasn't in the game, you could play the Green Goblin and be happy. But now people can Silver Surfer the Green Goblin. And now it's just a 0 point card, and it doesn't feel as bad, right? Because I
Right.
spent 3 mana, you get a 0 point card. Like they don't care.
No, they don't care anymore. No. So yeah, I don't have him, but I think the Hobgoblin's fun. For those of you guys that don't know, is I mean he's a 5 cost -8 here, and your opponent gains control of him. So actually, I've had a couple times because the deck I'm running Odin is I've come
Yeah,
across a couple people that play Hobgoblin on me, but Odin sends him back. So that's
yeah,
always been really helpful too. For those of you guys that are familiar with that, is I do have Odin in here as well, and I just got this variant. I'm liking this variant here, but
yeah.
it activates the on-reveal ability of your other cards. So, your opponent will play a Hobgoblin, he'll wander over to you, give you -8, then you drop Odin, and then it wanders on back over to them, and they're like, darn it! They don't want that to happen.
Darn it, yeah. I
Darn
would have
y'all.
gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling
Those
Odin.
rascally kids would have gotten away with it.
For sure. And actually, yeah, we can see what the next feature location will be, right? So in like 4 or 5 hours, it will be a collapsed mine.
Oh,
So
okay.
what this location does is it fills the location with rocks. So both
Oh.
players' location will be all rocks, and then you have to skip a turn to destroy your rocks.
Oh, that's tricky. That's what I mean, guys. That's one of the things I like about this game is you kind of have to think. So it's
Right.
not like you could take one deck and just kind of run with it forever. It's almost like when stuff like this happens, it kind of gets you to think a little bit more. Then you get to take something else and kind of play around with it and have fun. So I really do like that aspect of this game is having like the three different sites, and then yeah, like you have something like that, and you're thinking, okay, so how am I supposed to play that, or like what am I supposed to
So
do?
I have some tips for that.
Ooh, let's go.
So one strategy you can do, I don't know if you have this card, but it's called Patriot, and it
I
buffs
do
cards
not.
with
I
no
don't think.
abilities. Okay, so
What cost is he? We'll look at him.
he's in your screen right now. 3 costs, 1 power. Um, He's a little above, so a little bit above.
There we
Yeah,
go.
right. Yeah,
Oh, yep. So he's good against, yeah, like the little stuff, right? He's good to use on the little stuff.
yeah. So it'll buff all your rocks to be 2 power, but that
Mm-hmm.
one's like more niche. The
Right.
actual secret sauce is armor, and I know you have it. So what you'll
Oh,
do
yep. Yeah, okay. Where is
what
he?
you'll do is so turn 2, if that location hasn't revealed, you put the armor on the unrevealed location, right?
There we
And then
go.
what happens if it flips to collapse mines? You'll have an armor and 3 rocks. They'll have 4 rocks.
Mm-hmm.
But then, right, you have to skip a turn to destroy your rocks. But you have armor. Things can't be destroyed.
Right.
So you just win that location
Mm-hmm.
completely because you have armor, 3 rocks. They'll have 4 rocks, and they can't destroy it. So you just win. So
Nice.
that's the secret sauce. You definitely should be putting armor in like every deck you build while that location.
All right. You guys heard it. Tip coming for, it's called Mines, right? Is that what you said it was called?
Collapse mine.
Collapse
Yeah.
Mines. Okay, Collapse Mines is coming, so it looks like we're going to be building some armor decks for sure. So you guys heard it here first. Tips from Colin. Make sure you guys do that. So I'm probably going to have to do that as well too. And get more like buffing kind of cards in here too, most likely, to kind of buff up the
Yeah,
other
that
ones.
that's another cool thing, like Ironheart and stuff like that. Things that can buff
Yeah.
our other cards. Be
So
a
I think
probably
she's
good
a
idea.
3. There she
Three
is,
cost, zero
Ironheart.
power. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then there was the other one, the one that looks like Tarzan. I can't think of his name.
Kazar.
Yeah, is that
Kazar.
it? Where is
Yeah,
he?
four
What's his
costs.
cost? Four
Four
cost. That's right.
costs, 4 power.
Four cost 4. I know. I just know he looks like Tarzan.
He's Tarzan. Yes.
There we go. He is. I mean, guys, look, he's Tarzan. I mean, basically, right? Yeah, this guy here too.
So same thing. Blue Marvel does like very similar ability, right? So you could
Do
probably
I have
run.
him?
Yeah,
He's a
everyone has.
5. He's a
Uh,
5, right?
yeah, yeah. 5 cost, 3 power. He's above, I believe, and you definitely have him.
Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, Blue Marvel. There
Yeah,
we go. There we go.
yeah. So you run both of those. Your rocks will be 2 power. That's definitely a way of using that location. Once again, you can
Nice.
always just like skip a turn. Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
maybe you don't want to do that, but that's another option if you just don't want to bother.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Thank you. Collins, thank you so much for joining us today and for just, sharing some fun things about the game. There's so much stuff that, I didn't know because I'm still learning. And, obviously you're playing this so much more competitively. So you're seeing a lot more things. So thank you so much for coming and hanging out, playing the game, going through some cards. So guys, again, he gave some really nice tips, especially if you're starting out or again, going into this next, not necessarily season, but they do, they switch the locations around. So now you have a tip kind of starting out on how to deal with this new location that's coming out. So I appreciate it. Thanks so much for hanging.
Yeah, it was very fun. Thanks for having me. Definitely a lot of this game can be discussed, and I definitely had a great time here. So
Yeah,
thank
thank
you. Take
you.
care.
And you guys, so Collins streams on Twitch. I do not think you have a
Yeah.
YouTube currently, or do
I
you?
just made a Snap YouTube
He
actually.
did. Yes. So,
Yeah.
guys, I'm putting links down below. Like I said, Collins is a buddy of mine. Please do me a favor. Go follow him. Go subscribe. I'm going to go hit that subscribe as soon as we're done here as well, too, because I'm so excited. Yeah, you started a Snap channel. I think that's amazing. That's great.
Thank you. I hope it's good for you
Oh,
guys.
I'm sure it'll be great. Thank you so much for hanging in, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye bye.